She's definitely more
Is this the best angle? Probably not, but we're gonna roll with it anyways. Hello, I have not talked to camera in a hot minute here, so let me take a moment to say hello. Let me minimize all my things. Also, Dante is snoring right underneath the camera, so if you hear Pug snoring, that's what that is. Hello, it's been very busy. I haven't like updated you guys in a long time here. Let's see, what's been going on? Personal life, I've had a lot going on. My son just turned 3, so we celebrated his 3rd birthday with a birthday party. It was my first time doing like a kid's birthday party, which I'm pretty sure you would have already seen a stuff that I made for my son's birthday party video. So if you haven't watched that already, go over here and watch it. And then, let's see, I did the birthday party, and then we had family visiting. They're actually still visiting, so it's just been really kind of busy celebrating my little 3-year-old. It's crazy to say 3-year-old out loud. It's really wild. What else has been going on? As I think I mentioned in a voiceover in a previous video, I did get Invisalign, so that journey has begun. It's been a bit of an adjustment, just getting used to more like the routine of taking the trays in and out and brushing my teeth constantly. Like I'm always, anytime, you know, you got to take them out to eat. So it's a lot of just like, I'm always thinking about that, like kind of planning my, what is my hair doing? Oh my gosh. Invisalign has been an adjustment in a sense that I'm always thinking about, you know, when am I going to eat and then take my trays out and then clean them and then clean my teeth and put them back in. It's definitely like a bit of work, but I've had it for about a month now, I'd say, and I've definitely gotten used to it. So it just took some adjusting, but from a pain perspective, it's very easy. I don't even think I've gotten used to talking with it. I've even gone in for like a follow-up appointment just to get more trays and like see how my teeth were doing. Everything's going really well. I actually have now I double time the amount of time that I change my trays. So I was on like every other week I would put in a new set of trays, and now it's every week. So every 7 days I've got a new tray in, which is very exciting. So I've literally like cut my time in half now doing that. So that's really cool. But overall it's going really well. It's just taking some adjusting, but I'm getting used to it. What else has been going on? Yeah, I've just been really busy with obviously Roman's birthday party and whatnot has really consumed a lot of my extracurricular time. Beyond that, creatively, I joined a local drawing club in my town, which has been really exciting. I've kind of been documenting that process a bit more on Patreon vlogs, which is where I kind of share more of my personal life over there. But it's been a really great way to kind of just like socialize with people, get out of my studio, get creative in a community sort of sense, which has been really fun. And I'm actually really enjoying it. So that's every week now. I go to an in-person drawing club, loving it, need to change my battery. So because of drawing club, I actually am nearing the end of a mixed media moleskin that I have here. So I am like finishing up my last few pages utilizing drawing club to do that basically, which means I needed a new mixed media sketchbook. So I did just that. I always like to have one of these. These are the Moleskine Art Plus sketchbooks. I always have one of these in the rotation. I art journal in these, you know, like I do like actually like finished spreads in here, other messy mixed media sketchbook stuff. It's a real like random mix mosh of stuff. I kind of just like having one sketchbook in my pile that where I can do kind of mixed media stuff and go a little bit crazy. So that said, I ended up buying 2 new ones. I bought one in the same size because I was like, maybe I want to go small. But then I was like, let me be bold and get a big one too. So your girl got a big one. And I work in a big one this size in the regular paper, the Moleskine just like plain paper one for my off-camera crinkle, which is like where I do a lot of like really messy sketching and messy stuff. But I have not worked in the Art Plus in this size, whatever size this is. This is like 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 11 or something along those lines. But I've been really into this, and I don't know if it's just because I'm coming off of working in my off-camera crinkle. I believe at the start of this studio vlog, you would have seen me working on a canvas piece as well. I was working on a mixed media canvas board to submit to a local art show also here in my town. I'm learning that I live in a very creative community, and I'm really trying to immerse myself into that as an artist, just to push myself creatively, socially, and like get out of my studio, which I just think is really important. So coming off of working on that, which was an 11 by 14 size, I really struggled with that. I had highs and lows working on that project, needless to say. And one of the things I really struggled with was just the scale of it. I'm used to working a lot smaller. But coming off that, I just realized that maybe I need to push myself a little bit more in regards to like the formats that I'm working in and the sizes that I'm working in. So I got myself the big R Plus and have dived right into it, just filling in random things, starting to glue stuff in, random sketching. You know, I'm just having fun throwing things in here, doing all sorts of messy things. And then I'm also playing around with doing some kind of like journal spreads, but in different formats, trying just like singular page journaling. These are very early layers in process, but like singular landscape pages. And then also just experimenting with like taping off areas of my sketchbook and then sort of journaling within those zones as well. So treating it almost like pieces rather than journal spreads. Again, experimenting, and I feel like being in this larger book lends itself to that really well. So yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun breaking in a new sketchbook again, since my other one is nearly full, and just having a grand old time. So creatively, I've been in a really interesting in-between place, having just finished like the online art class, and before that was the April Art Challenge. So it was like I had one big project kind of into the other, and now I'm kind of in an interesting in-between place of where I'm allowing myself to just work on art for me, whether that's in my sketchbook or in my new mixed media sketchbook, my secret sketchbook. I'm kind of in a sketchbook journal place right now, before I kind of start working on a couple of other projects that I'm gearing up for fall. One of them being my sort of October/Inktober project. I'm starting to brainstorm that a little bit. I'll talk about that probably a little bit later. I'm also working towards the 2022 Advent calendar. So I've been sketching things for that and have a big pile of sketches, but actually need to sit down and illustrate those to create sticker designs. So that's kind of something else that's going on. But all that stuff is kind of like, it's coming up, and I have that weird in-between time at this moment where I'm not chained to a project quite yet. And I can really just enjoy making art for me. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Drawing club has been a huge eye-opener for me as far as just like getting out of my studio and drawing in other places. That's been really fun. And also, you know, just like I walk Dante every day, and it was like, you know, if I take him out for a walk in the middle of the day, why not give him a big boy walk, which is what he loves, and go to a park or go somewhere where I can sit down and do a little bit of sketching at the same time. So I'm really just trying to be in the moment and create and, yeah, just settle into that a little bit more. I think that's all the updates for right now. Yeah. Oh, the other big thing that I've been working on, I am back to making videos for Pug Nation Rescue of LA. Obviously, if you've been around here for a while, you know I'm a crazy pug lady. I love pugs. I love rescue pugs. And I used to work many years ago for Pug Nation Rescue as one of like my part-time jobs when I was becoming a full-time artist. I worked at the Pug Rescue. It's just an organization that is very close to my heart and I feel very passionate about, and am now in a position where I'm able to give back. So I have been donating my time going to the rescue and filming dogs and then creating videos for them and basically running their YouTube channel. So if you are looking to do a little bit of good and it doesn't cost anything at all, feel free to pop on over to the Pug Nation YouTube channel and subscribe and watch a bunch of videos, because we're trying to monetize the channel, and monetizing the channel would be so huge because we would be able to actually get some money back to the rescue and for the dogs in need, which would just be amazing. Subscribers, we're almost there. We need 1,000 subscribers, but the big thing is the watch time. We need 4,000 hours of public watch time to be able to be partnered, and we're a ways off from that. So just watching the videos is huge, huge. Subscribe, get notified, watch those little cutesy pie pug videos. They're very short, or just put a Pug Nation playlist on, like in the background if you're doing something, and just let the videos play, because we really just need the watch time big time. So if you just want to do a little bit of good, that will be amazing. Doesn't cost anything. Just watch some cute pug videos, or have it on in the background, or put it on an iPad somewhere. That would just be absolutely amazing. So I've been editing a bunch of videos for that. I have a couple of like featured dog videos that I'm trying to wrap up. And then I was working on creating kind of like they have a sponsor a pug program. So I've been editing a video for that. And I've created this really funny graphic for kind of the spokes pug we've chosen for the channel, that's gonna kind of be like talking. I have a friend of mine that's gonna be her voice. So I've kind of just been like slowly chipping away at that video while also editing other pug videos at the same time. So yeah, I'm really happy to be doing this, and being able to donate my skills, I guess, in this way feels really good. Not that I need more videos to edit. My God, I have so many videos to edit, even just for myself. I have a big YouTube video to edit. I have a vlog to edit for Patreon, but I really want to tackle this pug footage of at least what I have left of it, so that I can schedule another day to go back and film more pugs who need homes and get them, you know, up on the channel. That's what's been going on. I'm gonna keep editing. Maybe I'll check in with you a little later. So as most of you know, I have a 5-year journal that I don't put this on YouTube usually because it's pretty personal, but I do periodically film 5-year journal things for Patreon, because it's personal information, and I feel better it being like kind of hidden somewhere and not on the internet. But I did just want to share with you, I got really, really behind. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I was back from like May. Let me see. My last entry was May 9th. Let me see. So back here. So from May 9th until this purple posted here, that's how far behind I was. I was so crazy backlogged on my 5-year. It was insane. But I'm in my 2nd year of doing this journal, and I just did not want to give up. So I developed a little strategy to work through my backlog while doing current posts. And I've filmed this whole thing for Patreon, but I literally created like a whole backlog chart and figured out how to do it and do the catch up. But I'm really proud of myself. I just finished the last little backlog entry that I needed to do, and I got myself fully caught up to today. So I'm really, really proud of myself. The 5-year journal lives on. Look at that chunk. Crazy. But yeah, that's gonna be coming to Patreon, a big backlog update. And I literally filmed myself like daily checking in, like, okay, here's how many backlog entries I did. Here's my strategy. Here's what's working. Here's what's not. It was a very interesting experience to do and document, but oh, I'm happy to be caught up. if I'm looking a little more worn out than usual, that is because I was up late. I was up most of the night last night with my toddler who has a cough at this moment. So I am running on like maybe 3 hours of sleep probably. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's the start of a new week though. I have some mail that I have gotten. That's a fun combination of things. A couple things that you guys have sent me, some art supplies I've purchased, a fun art print. I thought that I would share that with you guys in this little vlog. So let's open up some mail. Dante, stop licking your paw. I see you licking your paws over there. Yeah, I see it. Okay, first up, we got a little Happy Mail envelope, which I believe I know what is in this. I need to try to preserve these really cool stickers here. It's been fun in my mixed media mini zine class. A number of the people in that workshop have finished their zines and are now doing like zine swaps. So they're mailing the zines to each other, and it's really fun to see. Ooh, yes. Okay, so this is from Anna Teresa. I'm really hoping I'm pronouncing your name right. Anna Teresa? Anna Teresa? Let me know, who mailed me some of her zines from the zine class. It's been really fun, by the way, seeing your work just like explode. She's been making tons of different types of zines, and it's been really cool to see. Dear Roxanne, thank you for your courses. They have sparked my creative muse. I think I have found my thing. Cheers. All the best to you, James, Roman, Olive, and Dante. Big hugs. Cool. And she made, these are the two that I really wanted. She made both a Pretty in Pink zine and a Lost Boys zine, which is so cool. Oh, I love this. Even the back is cute. Look at how cute that is. This is a whole Lost Boys zine. So obsessed. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, so that is really cool. Pretty in Pink one's great too. Ah, the illustrations are amazing in this Pretty in Pink one. Ah, there's just something about zines. They're just so cool. Love these. I'm excited to have my own copy. So thank you for sending me some. That's really, really cool. Let me show something else that came to my P.O. box that I think I know what it is. Okay, so this is Minnie Small's new book. I'm so excited for her. She reached out and asked me if I wanted a copy of her new book that I believe at the time she reached out to me was on pre-order. It might be available now. I'm not sure. I know it's on Amazon. And it's the 30-day sketchbook project by Minnie Small, daily exercises and prompts to fill pages, improve your art, and explore creativity. Amazing. Whoa, look at the index. There's so much stuff. Oh, wow. I mean, if you're looking for like a tutorial book, look at that. Oh, just, wow. Wow, I can't even imagine. Oh my God. The time it took to create something like this with this many tutorials, and it's literally daily. It's literally daily. If you are looking for like a month-long thing that really guides you, this is amazing. Wow. You guys know I believe having a sketchbook is a really important thing. And heck, you know, October, Inktober, lots of art challenge. It's like art challenge season is up ahead. This would be a really great book to follow along that has like some really, oh, this is cool, collage paintings. That's really cool. This has some great step-by-step ideas, lots of different variety of things, buildings to landscapes to features, monochrome painting. Oh my gosh. This book is beautiful. I really like the layout too. That's really great. Amazing. Wow, I can't even imagine the work that went into this. Oh my God. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, Minnie, congratulations on this beauty of a book. Wow, I cannot wait to like sit down and maybe like put some Post-its on some things and check this out. Amazing. Wow, it's so detailed. So detailed. And what a nice size too. It feels good in the hands. I love matte textures like this. It's so yummy. Thank you, Minnie, for sending me your brand new first ever book. It's absolutely beautiful. Congratulations. That's so exciting. I feel honored to have a copy of this. That's very cool. Okay, the last two things here are just some fun purchases I have made. One of them is from one of my favorite illustrators. I've followed her on Instagram for a really long time, Heather Mahler. Again, I'm terrible at pronunciation. I believe it's Heather Mahler is how you pronounce her name. Heather, I've been following her on Instagram for a really long time. I just love her illustration style. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I've recently gone down a huge binge of What We Do in the Shadows. Love that show. It just brings me so much joy. It's one of my favorite things to like have on in the background if I'm cleaning the house or doing dishes or something. And I saw that she has a illustration here. Let me take it out of the plastic. She has a print of Nadia and Laszlo, who are my favorite couple and characters on the show. So I had to pick up a print, the lovely, lovely print of Nadia and Laszlo in her style. I just love her illustration style. It's so fun, so whimsical. This is a beautiful print, by the way. Oh my gosh. So I'm definitely gonna be framing this and putting it somewhere, probably around my house. James and I have been making more of an effort to like buy cool artist prints and have them around like this. And this print is a beauty, oh my goodness. Also in her shop, I picked up a sticker. She has a bunch of these really cool witch stickers. Look at how big this sticker is. That's the size of my hand. Look at this sticker. Wow, this might need to go on my new sketchbook. That is absolutely beautiful. Here is where you can find her. I will try to put links down below as well to her Etsy shop. Very exciting purchase. I cannot wait to frame this and put it up somewhere. I also love too that I have converted James into being like a horror movie spooky fan of spooky things. So we're just slowly accruing fun spooky things to put up around our house, which is just, you know, obviously I really love. So that's exciting. Also, like my studio is like pretty maxed out. I've really covered a lot of my walls with stuff. I could probably hang a few more things up, but I've really maxed out a lot of my wall space, unfortunately. Okay, the last thing that I bought was actually from Uniball. They were having a sale. One of my patrons posted in our Patreon only Discord, which is a really fun like community that we have over there. Someone posted, oh my gosh, there's a crazy sale over at Uniball. They're having like it was like 40% off or something crazy. And they had Poscas. So I picked up 2 packs of Poscas for 40% off. I went ahead and just got their basic colors. The 8-pack in the, what size is this? The 3mm nib, whatever, the small bullet nib. And then I wanted to try out the extra tiny one, the extra fine nib as well. So we'll give that a whirl. So I've stocked up my Poscas. They had some ones that were like the really big sets with all the really cool like pastels and other colors, but they were already sold out. But it was just too good of a deal to not pass up basically. So I just jumped on it. You can never go wrong with having more Posca pens in the mix. They also apparently threw in this fine liner just for fun. I don't think I bought this. I think they just threw that in there. All right, I'll take it. So yeah, that's some of my recent purchases lately. Purchases and P.O. box mail. So thank you if you have sent me something. And yeah, that's been this little mail segment of this studio vlog. Just gave myself a quick little gel manicure before I get going to filming. I get a lot of questions about how I do just like my basic little gel mani. Not when I do the extensions. I do builder gel extensions as well, but I get a lot of questions about how to do a basic manicure and my little tips of making it last longer. If that's something that you're interested in learning more about, I can maybe put together a video. Let me know. better with or without this light on, but I'll turn it off for right now. So there are crazy crows outside. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think it's time. What? Now someone's sawing something outside? What is going on? Okay. I think it's time we talk about one of my new projects I'm about to start working on. Okay, how do I start this? I guess it starts as I was thinking about what my October daily art project was going to be, slash Inktober. It's Inktober, basically. Like, what was going to be my Inktober project? Although I don't actually participate in Inktober. I usually have done, I've done Mabgrave's Drawloween for a couple of years. I did, last year I think I did Peachtober, hosted by Furry Little Peach. So I've been following kind of other prompts, or I usually just will kind of do my own thing. I know many years ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago, I would always do, 5 or 6 years ago, and then I did it for a couple of years. I would do these horror portraits. I would take characters from different horror movies and just do inky portraits of them. But that was before I really got into like heavier mixed media stuff and kind of developed my own style and whatnot. Earlier in the year, I was thinking about kind of just my general big projects and goals for the year. And one of the things that I wrote down was an idea that I had, and it's literally on a Post-it note in front of me. There is in my studio, I have a little thing of Post-its that are like my big goals for the year, things that I want to get done. Well, one of the ones that I wrote down was Inktober famous horror houses. I really had this idea in my mind of just drawing houses from famous horror movies, like famous horror houses, like the Beetlejuice house, a Midsummer A-frame, the Mike Myers house from Halloween, the cave from Lost Boys, all sorts of things. And I have just slowly, literally for months, maybe even started at the beginning of the year, have been just creating this ongoing list. And so I've created this huge list on my phone of these different famous houses of horror, basically. And what I ended up doing, let's see, yeah, it was like my haunted house idea. What I ended up doing was, once I have this huge list, I mean, like, you guys, it's like a massive list of ideas here. The Rosemary's Baby apartment, the house from 13 Ghosts, which is like made out of glass, American Horror Story Coven or Murder House, the It Follows house with a naked guy on top of it, Hereditary house, or even the tree house from Hereditary, Evil Dead cabin, Amityville Horror House. I mean, just the list goes on and on. Once I made this list, I found myself going back and like adding additional words to it. So for example, I wrote down the Ghostbusters firehouse, and then next to it I came back to it and I wrote protector or guardian. Hocus Pocus house, or I was going to do Max's house specifically, with like the light beam coming from the top. If you've seen Hocus Pocus, you know what I'm talking about. Protecting your inner child. So I kept writing down these kind of additional little things, and the next thing you know, occupied came into my mind, as though like these houses are occupied. And then that snowballed into the Occupied Oracle. And that's kind of have become now the basis of this crazy October art project idea that I have. I've been brainstorming and working on things, you know, I've been brainstorming, gathering reference photos, making a list of houses, and even doing some preliminary sketching. I've been doing that in my Sketchbook Club sketchbook that's for Patreon, but I'm realizing that this project has a lot of different moving parts. I think the end goal is to create a small oracle deck, the end goal is to create some sort of oracle deck, I think, and call it the Occupied Oracle, and it would have all of these different houses from horror or spooky houses, whatever, in it. Since now kind of researching and starting to sketch and brainstorm things together, I'm realizing that there's kind of two big parts of it that I need to focus on. The first thing, and this was all after I've kind of pinned down the style of how I'm going to do it. The first thing was realizing that I wanted to create mixed media backgrounds for all of them. So kind of like the tarot card project, I want to create backgrounds for them. They're not going to be as in-depth, I would say, as the tarot cards, but just have some sort of mixed media background going on. that I create ahead of time. So I thought I would spend the month of September creating my 31 mixed media backgrounds. 31, give or take a few extra for just buffer in case I don't like what I'm doing. And then the month of October, I would use that as sort of like my daily art challenge of then inking each little house every day and putting the houses onto the mixed media backgrounds. So as I've thought about this project as a whole, as I've started to research it, this has been going on for a couple of months now, me sort of in this preliminary phase of figuring out what direction I'm gonna go in, how I'm gonna document it, all of that. What I've decided to do is that all of the mixed media background portion and what I'm gonna be working on throughout the month of September, I'm gonna document here for YouTube. So you guys are gonna see that process of how I create all of the mixed media backgrounds. The sketching portion of the houses, basically the initial like creating the sketch for each one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. That is going to be happening over on Patreon, because I have so this is kind of like a little sneaky peek into it here. This was from a Sketchbook Club episode. Actually, I've now started filming a second one that's surrounding this project, but for the April Art Challenge, I filmed myself every little thing that I sketched on Patreon. And it was a really interesting experience for me documenting myself sketching. It's not something that I do very often. It adds an extra layer of challenge, I'll say that. But I think all of my sketching of the houses, and you can see I have some little sample ones down here that I've started to work on a little bit. Those are going to be on Patreon. So there'll definitely be a few Sketchbook Club episodes where it's just me batch sketching all of the houses. And then I'll be inking them over onto my substrate, which I have pinned down is just gonna be like white sticker paper. I'm literally illustrating on white label paper that I will then put onto my mixed media backgrounds. That process of sort of finishing the cards, I'll probably document for YouTube as well. So it's kind of got multiple parts and chunks to it, but I think it will fit my October Art Challenge goals really well, and that I wanted to do something every day that was strictly ink, and that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. Literally just a brush pen on white label paper, illustrating all of these little houses, but I will then have all the prep work done leading up to it of all of the different mixed media backgrounds. That's the goal. Now, the Oracle portion of this, I'm kind of leaving for future me to deal with, because I want to be creating to, how do I say this? You know, there's a thing when you are an artist that sells stuff, right? It's very easy to fall into that trap of making art to be a product. So it's kind of like you're creating to be a product, not creating for process, of just enjoying the creative process and making art kind of for art's sake a little bit. And that is the focus there that I want to stay on, is make sure that I am really in depth in the process of making these and putting my time into the art, and I'm not thinking about what the final product is going to be. So that said, I'm not thinking about the Oracle element of it as far as like card design, the back, the words that I would include, meanings, etc. I will do all of that later after all the cards are done. I just think the priority needs to be the art, the illustrations, and like the crazy mixed media background. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work on those things first, and then I will deal with kind of the Oracle element, if that's something that I wanna pursue as far as turning it into an actual like Oracle deck or a deck of cards or trading cards or something, I don't know. I will deal with that later on. That's kind of been like the little secret project that I've been slowly working on, literally brainstorming, putting notes in my phone probably since the beginning of the year, little post-it note included. And then only in the last month or so have I started to actually make the list of houses that I want to illustrate, start some preliminary sketches, all that good stuff. So what I'm doing at this current moment is prepping a bunch of my substrates. So prepping the actual paper that the backgrounds are going to be on. So that's what this is. And then starting to also sketch a bit further in my Sketchbook Club sketchbook to see if I can, because I feel like I need to make a card or two to make sure that I like the way it looks and this is the style that I'm committing to, because I want all the cards to look the same. It's going to be different from my tarot in that my tarot cards are all wildly different. You know, the central illustrations are done on a lot of different substrates and weird papers, and each card is completely different from the other. This particular project, I do want uniformity because I think that also just connects back to having that ink, that October art challenge being like at its core. There is going to be a lot of uniformity with the cards as far as like, it's just the black and white house illustrations with kind of the crazy backgrounds. But they'll just look a lot more uniform. So I want to make sure before committing to that I maybe do a couple of cards ahead of time and just make sure that I like them before I really commit into this. Because this is going to be a pretty big commitment as far as the artwork that I'm making. Certainly the amount of filming that I plan on doing to document all this is going to be quite a bit. But the more I think that I do now, especially in getting those backgrounds done, the better position I'll be come October when it's time to actually start inking all the little houses and posting them daily. Yeah, the Occupied Oracle project is underway. Videos to come because that's going to be a lot of what I'm working on in the next month. I am assuming it's probably going to be kind of its own little series, just because I don't think I can do one giant video with 31 different card backgrounds, you know. But I think it will be an interesting thing to document. I do love documenting projects like this, so I think it will be cool. And I'm excited to delve into something new and big like this. You know, I've been really busy with the zine online class and Etsy shop stuff and all that, having all that kind of wrapped up for right now. This is the perfect time to kind of focus on one larger sort of creative project, while also trying to design advent stickers at the same time, which is loads of fun. But that's not something I can document and share because my sticker advent, it's not a calendar, it's just like a mystery sticker advent for this year. I have already started ordering stickers, but I can't document any of that because it's supposed to be a secret. It's a surprise. That's the whole point of an advent. I'm excited that this is a project. The Occupied Oracle is something that I can share with all of you guys. So I'm gonna keep trimming up my paper over here and work on sketching a little bit more and check in with you a little bit later. So I have a few houses already sketched out in my Sketchbook Club sketchbook here. The schoolhouse from the birds. I'm probably going to redraw this. I'm not crazy about the proportions on this one. The firehouse from Ghostbusters, the house from Beetlejuice, and then Max's house from Hocus Pocus. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is create some collage backgrounds of maybe these three, just to get started as kind of like my practice cards. And heck, if I end up with more than 31 cards, I think that's a good thing. As you can see, I have a pretty big list, 31 houses, and then additional ideas as well. So I have a lot of different, you know, house ideas brewing here. But I'm going to start with these ones because I know I want to practice sort of transferring these over and see if I like the general style. I know I'm kind of breaking the Inktober rule here of, you know, starting the project early, but it's a big commitment. I want to make sure that I like the style of these cards. So I'm going to work on that now, is just starting some of these backgrounds and see if I like how they shape up. Maybe I'll do a schoolhouse one too, knowing that I'm probably going to redraw this. But yeah, let me get to collaging these four. Okay, so quick update. I have been doing some collaging here. I had to gather all the ephemera that I wanted to use first for the first little batch of test cards that I'm doing here. And I'm so glad I'm doing this because I just think it's really important for me to like really confirm that this is the process that I want to do for like a full month. It's pretty intense, obviously. So I'm glad I'm going through this process, even though it feels like I'm getting a jump start. I'm really not, because I don't even know if I'm gonna commit to this or if I want to tone down backgrounds or what. I'm definitely glad that I'm working through that process of creating a few completed cards before committing to a month's worth of them. I'll show you what I have so far. They're just very, very loose backgrounds right now, just getting the ball rolling as far as just getting some ephemera down and a background fully covered. And then I will of course come back through and add more stuff, paint, oil pastel, texture, all that good stuff. But I at least want to get the ball rolling. One other thing that I'm really happy that I have is that I have the houses sketched out. That's something I'm learning in this process, is that I definitely need to have the house confirmed, sketch confirmed, and then I can start to build the background. So I think the sketching and creating of the backgrounds might actually be sort of like a tandem process a bit, because I do think that the sketch influences the background, at least as much as like how busy can I take it, how wide or how long is the drawing gonna be. You know, it's easier to create a background to a sketch than sketch to a background. It's a good takeaway thus far in just my preliminary collaging, but let me show you real quick the first 4 cards that I'm working on, how they're shaping up. Now, like I said, this is really early in the process, so these backgrounds are gonna go through a lot more transformation than what you're seeing here. They're sandwiched in between wax paper right now because this is how I keep them flat, and I'm flattening them between a thick book. So over here is the Birds Schoolhouse background in process here. I added the piano because it makes me think of the scene from the Birds. I'm thinking of is when the kids are singing in the schoolhouse and all the birds are slowly starting to land all over the building and the play structures and stuff, and they're singing clickety clackety now now now. So the little piano made me think of that. This little school paper I literally found when I was walking my dog, which is also just a fun little detail there. So schoolhouse vibes, but also just childlike and things, elements that remind me of the scene from the film as well. So that's, I'll leave them out here while I show them to you. So that's the Bird Schoolhouse. This one was for Hocus Pocus. It's hard because I kept pulling witchy things, but I kept having to remind myself that what I actually have sketched is Max's house. I may also do the witch's cottage as well as a separate card. So I don't know yet. I do think that this is kind of working. There's a lot of sky, I feel like, in the scenes where we see Max's house, because it's usually kind of like a wide shot. I added the music notes because it made me think of like Sister Sarah is usually singing when we see like the bigger shots of Max's house, minus the beginning of the film. I don't know. This is one that I might revamp into more of like a traditional Halloween sort of colors, because that's probably the direction I should have gone in, honestly, is more of like Halloween fall vibes. So this may be one that I need to rework. Again, another good reason why I'm doing these backgrounds now, figuring it out as I go, because there may be some that I don't like or that I end up reworking for a different illustration. I don't know. These next two I feel like are pretty obvious. This was for Beetlejuice, leaning into the purples, green, and a little bit of a stripe down here, which I think is kind of fun. Kept this kind of simple for now. We'll probably add a little bit more later. But yeah, that was for Beetlejuice. Yeah, this definitely needs more now that I'm looking at it, but it's fine. And then this one was for the firehouse, the Ghostbusters firehouse, which I really like the direction of this, with the red lockers, the green sort of like denoting Slimer a little bit. And then I even added a little chunk of map that has a little piece of New York on there that hopefully I can try to save. But those are the backgrounds so far. Gonna keep slowly chipping away at them, building up a little bit more. And then obviously kind of going back to the illustrations as well and seeing how it's all shaping up. Although it's daunting, it's exciting to finally have this project kind of underway, because it's something that's really been on my mind a lot. I probably have explained it in maybe a previous studio vlog, or maybe it was a Patreon vlog, I don't know, but there just was like a really strong desire to bring this project to life. It's quite literally been like haunting me for a long time. So that's kind of why I'm just going with the flow, and I'm kind of putting everything else to the side to just work on this. I know a lot of you are probably like, work on your tarot cards, but this is just really nudging me to get these done. And I also think it's just gonna be a good learning experience as far as like photographing cards, scanning cards, digitally making, you know, corrections here and there. And then if I do get them printed, I think it will be a really good learning experience to go through that process with something like this than the tarot cards, which is a very daunting thought, getting all of those cards printed. Either way, I'm excited to just get the project underway and really kind of get a good head start so that I'm prepared to really make this be like my October art challenge project, basically. I will of course keep you posted here on the channel. So if you're new here and you want to follow along on this project, definitely be sure to subscribe. Like this video if you guys liked it. Leave comments down below. I'm gonna wrap up this vlog here, How cute is this cup, by the way? I got it and it was on sale because all the summer Starbucks stuff was going on sale. I have the green one like this, and I find that I actually drink water out of it, so I treated myself to a new one. Staying hydrated. Anywho, on that note, I'm gonna go walk Dante, who was looking at me like, Mom, take me out for a walk, please, and carry on with the rest of my day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.